Hola, ¿qué pasa, campeones? My name is Diego, and this is D-Spot here with an improvised, as usual, I should say, D-Spot episode to get to you and talk to you about Barça Atletico, Fútbol Club Barcelona versus Atletico de Madrid. It finished 1-0 on the night, and I had to pop up and come to you quickly live because there's a lot to talk about. For the D-Spot loyals, in case you're new here, I should say, consider subscribing if you want to know and talk about Barça and all things Spanish football related. If you are a D-Spot loyal, as I see Too Fast for You and Christine, all dropping their comments in the comment section below. I do want to say that this is not the usual D-Spot episode, okay? I'm here just on the rooftop, as you can see. Quickly wanted to run through some notes with you guys, and I need to keep an eye out because downstairs there's nobody and my wife and kid are out, so if I'm not home to open the door, it's gonna get messy. It's gonna get messy, okay? But in any case, I see all you guys: Cecilia, Ahmed, Messi the GOAT, Mobin saying, hey Diego, what's going on? Cecilia, Ahmed, Mobin, Barça Blaugranes, Moraes. All you guys, keep dropping in your comment section, but I'm just warning you that we might not get to it today, okay? Stick around though, because we will talk about everything Barça related, including Dembele, of course, Nitigia, tomorrow, okay? Like I said, I need to keep looking over my shoulder to make sure I see my wife and kid coming. All right, let's get to it. ¿Quién marca la diferencia? Messi marca la diferencia. Messi all day, every day. Thanks to Messi, Barça today has 3 points, which I thought gracefully, very gracefully, Simeone admitted at the press conference when he made a reference to Messi. Said, look, this is like a game of fútbol de barrio, like a game of street football, okay? You have two teams that are quality teams, pero un jugador destaca. The player that got to choose first, the best player first, has the advantage, and that was the case. First 45 minutes, I thought Barça dominated clearly, dominated the ball, had possession, was very quick on recuperating the ball. Thanks to that pressing, Barça certainly deserved to go up in the one half after that 1-0 free kick by just another stunner from Messi. How many times we're gonna see it and say it? Thanks to this little genius, Barça was able to get their prize for dominating, for just basically dismantling Atletico in that first 45 minutes. And I was thinking, and I put it out there, I said, is this more Diego Simeone's or Valverde's merit, or Diego Simeone is gonna get in the faces of the players at the halftime, because it was just very un-Atletico-like, not what we used to seeing from Atletico, giving the ball up so easily. That said, on to the 45 minutes, and he certainly did get in the faces of his players. Diego Simeone, I don't know what he said, but in those second 45 minutes, it was a different Atletico. Came out hungry, came out quickly, ambitious and quick in recuperating the ball. Ambitious, I say, of course, because Diego had no other choice but to play offensive football. That has to be said. So what I was wondering though was, why did Barça look more flojo, more weak, and why were they not exploiting that right flank a lot more than you would expect that a team with the capability of with the capacity and quality likes of Barça would do? When Tomás, Atletico's player, Tomás, normally midfielder, went into the right back position, and you would have expected, say, a player like Coutinho to get on that and just to keep, attacking that side of the pitch. They didn't. Atletico, I'm not taking away anything from Atletico. They came back into the second half. It was a very hard-fought match. I also want to say, of course, losing Andrés Iniesta, let's hope that injury is not more than just a little, un golpe, a little bump, and not an injury, because it was his biceps femoral, that muscle right there in the back of your leg. I don't know what it's called in English, but let's hope that he can come back, of course, and be ready for the Chelsea match, which, by the way, I hope Piqué will be as well. He had a phenomenal match, Piqué, but I felt that he was forcing it a little bit at times, and I was scared for him. I was thinking, Piqué, sit down, sit out. But great match by Piqué. Of course, André Gomez came in. here it comes, right, guys? Here it comes. There cannot be no Barça win without some drama. Not this Barça, definitely not. Not never, but certainly not when you have Andre Gomez, who I actually thought was going to start this match. I did. I thought that Andre Gomez brought a great result in the first half at the Wanda Metropolitano. He did. Coutinho was given the chance by ¿cómo se llama? Valverde, and I was happy. I didn't want Gomez to start, but I did expect him to start. I was therefore not surprised, however, that Gomez was the one substituted in for Andres Iniesta. It allowed Gomez to play in a more midfield position. Coutinho, I should say, and Gomez out up there in the front, and it looked uncomfortable. Okay, I'm not gonna. You don't need to be the biggest genius, tactician, football intellect to know that Gomez, lacks the quality that you really want from a Barca player. What I did like was when, you just see that he kind of holds back the team with his quality. Yes, to go from there to absolutely hating the guy and disrespecting him, etc. No, and that's why I really liked what Piqué did when Gomez went on a little run. I think it was in the 67th minute, more or less, and Piqué kind of, encouraged the crowd to give Gomez a little bit of love, and I thought that was very fitting, and I applaud Piqué, our future president, for that. And look, then we saw Coutinho go out and Paulinho come in. Now, we already knew, at least it shouldn't come to any of you a surprise, that Dembele didn't start, and it shouldn't come necessarily as a surprise that he didn't play. We knew this from just a couple of days ago when Barça faced Las Palmas, okay? Barça facing Las Palmas was the match, for me, the kind of decider to see, is Dembele going to play against Chelsea, again LaLiga, or is Valverde really sticking to the no experiments theory? And because if we don't see Dembele against Las Palmas, we're not going to see him against Atletico. I said that last episode, and so it was. So, and I know he's going to get shit for this. I know he's going to cop a lot of, haters will jump on him. I already saw Dembele being mentioned a couple of times. And I was thinking about, why does Valverde do what he does, in terms of he's got such a dynamic, fantastic, young, ambitious, potential world superstar player in the likes of Dembele that cost a whole bunch of money. Why aren't you putting him in more? And you got to think of it like this. Valverde's been given a job to do. Now, we are all working, or either work, or some of you guys will study, or you study and work, etc. But we've all given, whenever we've worked or studied, we're giving a responsibility, a job to do, okay? Now, put yourself in Valverde's shoes. When he was given the task, or handed the team of Football Club Barcelona, given the keys to Football Club Barcelona to drive this team to success, what was his objective? What is his job? To me, it was to win titles, and if you don't want to go that far, to guaranteed win, at least be in a position to compete for all of them, right? Correct? Correct. I think we can all agree on that. Now, he was done so with the material that he did, and in terms of with the tools that he was handed over when it was August, or the preseason, etc. But when the season began, he said, okay, go, these are your players, this is what you're given, the tools you're given to fulfill your job, to live up to the expectations, to do your obligations. He's been doing a phenomenal job. Unbeaten record. We're in the Copa del Rey final, unbeaten in La Liga, as I said. First, 8 points clear. 8 points clear today, guys. 8 points clear over our closest title contender, which is Atletico de Madrid. Tied over at the bridge in the Champions League. We have the second leg at home. Right now, the way things stand, we are qualified to the next round, to the quarterfinals. If everything finishes 0-0, Barca qualifies. So, good result at the bridge. And now, all of a sudden, the Barça directivos and the fans are saying, here are two more very expensive, very fancy, potentially amazing tools. Here. Now, just kind of plug that in to into your method of working halfway through the season. Here you go. Now, what would you do? Would you opt for certainties, or would you take the risk? Now, I guarantee that almost everybody, when it comes to our job, let's say, we would opt for certainty because we want to keep our job. We want to keep, building our CV, have food to eat at the end of the month, pay our bills, etc. We don't want to be unemployed. We want to build a legacy. So that is what Valverde is doing. He is opting for success, for certainty, no experiments. That is why right now, even Coutinho is kind of like, okay, how do I fit this guy in there? We can speak about Coutinho in tomorrow's episode, who had a decent match, but also has a tendency to kind of go free roaming. Is not as disciplined and sticking into his position as other Barça pedigree players, Rakitic, Iniesta, etc. Busquets, what a great game as well, man. So you gotta understand that, and that's all I will say about that. I'm gonna delve into that more tomorrow. Take your questions, etc. But just think about that. You know what I mean? Valverde remains unbeaten. The difference is Messi. Okay, I agree. The difference is Messi right now. He's the difference maker. He's scoring the goals. He is Messi. But again, and I'm going to refer Simeone after in the press conference. Diego said, "Holy shit." My family then came home. Diego said, "I praise Valverde for what he has done with this team." He showed that Barça does not only have to play a 4-3-3 formation, they can also play a different style of football, and he's done so with the tools that he's been given. He made some sort of reference to that. I thought, again, but Diego Simeone, my respects for the way he came out and played. It was a valiant. Atletico went for the win. They had to. Like I said, of course, they want to fight for LaLiga. And he was just gracious in defeat. And Busi as well. And I'm going to end on this. Busquets made a very interesting reference as well. Something that has to be taken into account for all the critics of Barça to say that maybe we look tired or weak is that Barça had 24 hours less to prepare for this match. Atletico played on Wednesday, Barça played on Thursday. They got home on Friday night, apparently at 5 a.m. He said if La Liga wants to be the best league in the world, they have to take care of these kind of things and take these things into account, just the planning and the timing of everything. And that is, something that I think has to be mentioned, and has to be agreed upon. The players first. We got to think about these players first, and planning in that sense, planning ahead is very important. All right, I'm gonna end it there. Like I said, this was just a quick pop-up to give you guys some of my initial feedback, to get it off my chest. Thank you for blowing up the chat. Keep all your questions. If I can hold on to them, or somehow I will, I'm gonna answer all of that tomorrow. We'll get into more debates, Dembele, everything that you guys want to talk about. Stick with the positives, though. I would say Barça 8 points clear in La Liga. We're well on our way to winning this title, and beating Atletico is just a phenomenal achievement. We'll talk about Dembele and everything tomorrow. I'm not going to say I'm not worried about Dembele. I absolutely am, and I want him to play more. Apparently, I was hearing all kinds of things about his gestures or non-gestures on the sidelines, and I will talk about those tomorrow. Hopefully, I have some footage too. Okay? Join me tomorrow, guys. Bless you, thank you, and subscribe if you haven't already. This is D-Spot. Peace.